You won't. You're too hurt. You're too banged up. Niners are healthier. Segment with my friend Tone. We bring him in. You can't win Sunday.
Mr. Sileo, Mr. Sileo, Mr. Sileo.
Let me go through the laundry list. Fletcher looks like he's out. Cunningham out.
Yep.
Goddard's probably going to play Dallas. Do we agree?
Yes.
Out. AJ, thigh, left practice. Hamstring, Davis, fatigue, left practice. Lane, groin. That's a fatigue injury.
Lane's going to play, though. He'll play. I think he'll play.
That's not what I'm saying here.
I'm not got you. I'm following you. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Devontae Smith. Now, that's more being physical in a game. That's not a fatigue. When you get, believe it or not, when you get an knee injury, that's not really a fatigue. Like the forearm injury to Goddard, that's not fatigue. That's just unlucky.
Right. The soft tissue is more fatigue.
That's correct. Around the ankles, too. DeAndre Swift, ankle, overloading the guy's carries. Milton Williams, concussion. I don't know. I don't believe that's a fatigue injury. I think that's just an unlucky thing as well.
Right.
Let's see here, Tone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn. You got 11 dudes on that list versus a team that was just basking in the sun in the Bahamas. And they rolling into your place. 3-point favorites.
Sounds daunting, doesn't it?
Oh.
Sounds like an uphill battle, doesn't it?
I do not believe he can do it.
Sounds like the odds are against us, doesn't it?
Oh, they are.
But you know, this is the way I see it, right? Everything you said, you brought up some very, very, very valid points, right? The bottom line is the Philadelphia Eagles have played a tremendous, more so the defense, right? Because I think your conversation point is more so about the defensive side, right?
And it's about the defense and the fatigue and the teams they've played and the amount of snaps they've played in the last 11 days. See, Tone, I know you get it, but I think the 49ers are better than you? No.
Right, I got you.
Do you?
No, I don't think they're better than us at all. I don't.
Right. No.
If anything,
do you get where I'm coming from?
Oh, no. Yeah, I said that at the beginning. I definitely so let me get this out, right? I completely understand the premise that you're implying, right? The fact of the matter is the Philadelphia Eagles defense has played a tremendous amount of snaps. They had 70+ snaps against the Chiefs. They had 90+ snaps against the Buffalo Bills. Thank God they had the bye week between the Cowboys game. Thank God. But the bottom line is they played a significant amount of snaps on that side of the ball. So on top of that, you're thinking about the injury part of it. So everything you're saying is extremely comprehensible, and it makes all the sense in the world. Your logic is not off. But this is the part about the Philadelphia Eagles that I feel like people continue to miss. We're not, again, we spoke about this already, Sileo. Stop trying to measure it. Stop trying to put a number on it. Stop trying to quantify it. It can't be done. What the Philadelphia Eagles are doing goes against all logic. It goes against every math equation. It goes against the doctor's orders. You get what I'm saying? So
you're preaching to me aura.
Yes, I am. I'm preaching to you.
You
about
think
aura.
aura's going to be enough with all them dudes banged up on Sunday versus a team? Even, hey, get this. You lose this game Sunday. That Cowboy game's for the lead in the NFC East.
Yeah. It has, that Cowboy game grows in significance if they lose this game, but that's if they lose, and I don't think they will. I think there is a path to victory. I'll say that. Everything you're saying, though, needs to be taken into account and needs to be taken serious. Fatigue and the injuries is a very serious thing.
And slow starts.
And you couple that with the slow starts on offense, that's not a good place to be. So everything you're saying deserves to be paid attention to. It deserves its proper respect, and it deserves its proper consideration. I'm looking at it from this mindset, right? And I'm sorry, I just can't be moved off this. You see me, I'm already You already know what it is. So I won't, I refuse to be moved off this, right? I cannot and I will not roll over and die. I cannot and I will not be moved or shaken.
You can't
at the end of the day, they got to come
win
here.
Sunday.
They got to prove it to us.
You can't win Sunday.
Can't or won't. It's a difference.
Can't.
They can't.
You're see, this is more about the war in the end than about the battle on Sunday.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And right now, you're going in with troops. Like you're going in like right now, I would make Leonidas going in with 300 versus the Persians. Okay. And you have the mentality of Leonidas right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is Philly. They got to come over here.
Right.
They got to come over here. We ain't going to Santa Clara. We ain't going to Candlestick. This ain't that. This ain't the West Coast where they sip wine and eat little hush puppies on little sticks at the games. No, we drink beer on this side. We eat cheese steaks on this side. Chickens and Pete's fries with the Old Bay and the crab seasoning on it. You dig what I'm saying? Like this ain't again, like I said before, Sills, all season the Philadelphia Eagles have done nothing but go against the grain, go against proper convention.
But you have to have some reasoning here.
Of course, my reason is we are who we are. And they are who they are. They got to prove it, Sills. You played this game before. You know what it is.
Listen, will is not a thing that's not it's not phony. It's not a phony. It's not a phony attribute.
I'll put it to you this way: if this was a 7-game series, as things are what they are now, if this was a 7-game series, I just might give it to the Niners in 7 games. But guess what? This is a one-off right now. This is part 1 of part 2 so far. Actually, part 2. This is part 2. If you want to consider the NFC Championship part 1, they're looking. They see. Here's my problem, right? And this is why I think the Philadelphia Eagles win. The 49ers all season have been crowing about what they think they deserve, what they think belonged to them that was stolen. They're crying that something was stolen from them. They deserved that NFC Championship.
No,
game.
It was taken from them.
Help me understand what you think you deserve. In no shape, way, or fashion was I raised to believe that I deserve something. I'm owed something. No, you got to go out and earn it every single Sunday, and that's why they lose. That's why they're going to lose this Sunday, because they're going to go into this game thinking that they deserve to win, thinking that they're owed the victory. Nah, we're going to go out and earn it, and we're going to go out and take it. It's a difference in the mentality, Sills. I respect their talent. I respect their coach. I respect everything about the way they're built. The 49ers are one of the best teams in the NFL. I respect everything about their infrastructure. They are one of the most talented teams I've ever seen. I love the way they're built.
These are the two best teams.
But here's the difference. They lack it. They lack accountability. They lack that dog.
So you're saying they're Dallas?
They're Dallas West.
Wow.
They're Dallas West. They're Dallas West.
They destroyed the Cowboys.
I think they're better.
I
think they're better than the Cowboys. I think they're better
than the Chiefs.
But as far as like just they're all at this point, they're all glow and no spark. They haven't done anything since the 90s. I don't mean no disrespect here, but they're all glow and no spark.
They've been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they've been.
2.
They've been. They've been. But you gotta finish the job. You can't put your name on the test and think you earned the A. We've been to 2. We've been to 3 this year. 3 this past 20 years. We got 1. All right, we got 1. They got what, 4 or 5? Okay, whatever.
5.
They got 5. Okay,
in the 90s.
All right. In the 90s. But we're in the 21st century.
I got it. Recent memory.
The 21st century. Let's be honest. The 49ers, they're talented, but in my humble opinion, they're hanging on by a thread. In my humble opinion, at some point they got to get it done.
The Niners are hanging on by a thread.
At some point they got to get it done. At some point they got to get. You can't have all this talent.
Don't you have to get it done too?
Yeah. In the past 20 years,
sound like you've got something done.
We in the past 20 years, we've got a lot done. In the past 20 years, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, no. More than them. Yep.
So I'm looking at it like this, right?
In a tougher division.
And again, you brought up some very good points, and I'm not diminishing those. I don't want to make it seem like I'm diminishing those points you're making. I respect every point you made because it's valid, right? The injuries, the fatigue, it's real. This isn't Madden, it's real.
And like I said, I don't think they're better than you.
Right. So I just look at it like this. If the Eagles make this a fourth quarter game,
yes.
which it will be,
yes,
because I don't think this game is going to be as high scoring as we would like it to be.
No.
I think this game is going to be mid to low 20s.
With the weather.
Especially with the weather, if it rains, because I heard it's supposed to rain again. That's exactly what the Eagles need.
Tone, I think they've got to make this thing a four-quarter fist fight, get it into the fourth quarter, and if I've got to rely on Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy to win a game, I'm going to rely, and that's where you win the game. But I think because you have to prove, this is what you have to prove. You have to prove that you can get out to a strong start. You know,
absolutely.
I hear every single human being in Philly and even on our channel sitting there telling me we haven't played a perfect game. Well, because you haven't called one. Okay? You haven't called one. When you call a better game plan, maybe that you're winning. Hurts, you're putting Hurts in a hole every game that he has to dig the team out of. And he does. Okay? And he does. Why would you do that against a football team you can't dig a hole against? You're going to have 4 quarters of football against San Francisco to beat them, in my opinion. Okay?
I agree.
Because
100%.
that game is going to be a 4-quarter game. But if they get out on you, that's not going to be Buffalo. Because here's the difference between Buffalo and Kansas City. They had Kelsey. Here's who you played against. Kelsey and Stephon Diggs. When you got this game, you got Kittle, Ayuk, Samuel, McCaffrey. You're
right.
Philadelphia West.
You're listen, you're so right. It's up. The bottom line is, right, I think we both will agree. This is an uphill battle for Philadelphia. This is an uphill battle.
That's why I say you can't win. Now,
let
me put it this way to you, though,
right,
Tone.
I got you.
If somehow they come out of this game with a win, I don't know what narrative you could possibly say, but I'm going to throw this at you why people will start to still chip away at it with you. So Dak Prescott today was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Month.
Right.
And I looked and I said for the month of November, Jalen Hurts beat Mahomes, Allen, and Dak. And that guy compiled stats. That made me believe right there, there's not a chance in hell unless he goes and runs the table like I said yesterday. He wins that MVP award. Tone, how in your right mind do you put stats over competition?
I don't know how it's being done, if I'm being honest with you. Because here's the thing,
the metric?
There is none. It's simple. Do you know what the metric is? The metric
favoritism.
The metric is the star. That's the metric. At the end of the day, right? People are
Is it the star or someone else other than Hurts?
Listen to this, right? People are clamoring over Dak Prescott's play over these past few weeks. They're fawning over his play.
I don't get it.
And my thing is, hold on, wait, time's out. Dak Prescott has been in the NFL for about 8 or 9 years. And he has what, 2 playoff wins to show for it?
I think so.
2, maybe. And never been to a conference championship game.
Think about this. In the last 26 years between Romo and Dak, they've got 4 playoff wins.
Never been to a conference championship. And we're talking about this guy as if he's done something. Everything he's showing us, we've seen it before. My thing is
an overachiever.
When are we properly going to start evaluating this brother? When are we going to start really evaluating him?
He's not covered fairly.
When are we going to start evaluating this guy like a franchise quarterback?
They're not.
They keep evaluating him like he's just happy to be here.
Dude, I don't get how you look. When I saw that Dak Prescott got the NFC Player of the Month against the Giants, the Panthers,
the Commanders,
And
he lost to us in the same month. He lost to us.
And lost to the Eagles. So get this, Tone. They gave him more credit for losing to the Eagles than Hurts beating him for player of the month.
Ain't that some shit? Ain't that something?
It's complete disrespectful.
Listen, in the month of November, let's really.
It's totally disrespectful, dude.
Let's really discuss this, okay?
Now, I think the players probably hold him in a higher regard around the league.
Let's really listen to this, right?
I would.
I don't understand it. In the month of November, the Philadelphia Eagles beat Dallas. They had a bye week. They beat Kansas City, and they beat Buffalo. Jalen Hurts has led 2 fourth quarter or second half comebacks in both of those games, in 2 of those games. In my opinion, he outplayed Dak on November 5th because he was efficient and effective. More effective.
But look at who he beat.
He beat Dak Prescott, he beat Patrick Mahomes, and he beat Josh Allen. And
they gave him more credit in the loss to the Eagles, Dak Prescott, than Jalen's win.
I don't understand that. Look,
he ain't winning the MVP, dude, unless he goes undefeated.
Man, at this rate, man, I think.
And by the way, let me put it to you this way and reverse it to you. Do you think if Dak had beaten this year, how Stafford, Tua, Dak, Mahomes, Allen, say Purdy on Sunday, he gets it done.
Kirk Cousins, can't forget
Kirk
him.
Cousins, he was having a great year. Do you think that the MVP would be slam dunked right now with Dak Prescott winning it?
Listen, if Dak would have beat Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes in back-to-back weeks and Tua, they would have already engraved his name on the trophy. Listen, man.
That's why come Monday, you have to win this game against San Francisco. And here, no, in reality, do I think San Francisco needs it more for a mental moving forward that they can beat you kind of in the same way that the Eagles beat Kansas City? Because now they know they can beat them too.
Right.
Probably something down there. But here's why, Tone. Tone, if you beat the 49ers with all the things that I said and you beat them, what's the Monday morning excuse?
They're going to find one.
What?
They're going to find one. They're going to say,
what would you? No.
I'm with you. Don't get it twisted.
No, you can't beat Kansas City. You can't beat Buffalo. You can't beat San Francisco in consecutive weeks and show me on a Monday that somebody's better than you. Listen, this is why I say you can't do it Sunday.
And this is why I say they have to do it. They have to do it. And they will do it because it goes against conventional wisdom. It goes against what people want. This is the thing, man. The Eagles are the greatest party poopers on the planet. You want to know why? Because guess what? People don't want to invite the Eagles to the party, but guess what? Whenever they find their way in, they wreck that shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they leave with your chick, they leave with your food, they leave with your couch, they leave with the safe in the basement. Come on, man. Stop it. We the Grinch that stole everybody Christmas. They don't want it.
I've been on teams like that, and I love that stuff.
Listen, man. This is going to be so beautiful to watch on Sunday. Like I said, man, don't let this be a fourth quarter game, San Fran. Y'all better kill us.
That's a fact.
I'm telling you. Listen, 49ers fans.
In the fourth quarter, you're going to see some.
I'm telling you right now, 49ers fans. I'm telling you right now. Don't let this get to the fourth quarter. I promise you. You better kill us. You better put the stake in us. You better hit us with a silver bullet. I'm telling you, don't let it get to a fourth quarter. Niners all damn day, you better put me away. You better bury me alive because I'm coming back from the dead, big dog.
You better get the silver spike and you better get the sword and chop the head off because if you don't kill it, you better get the garlic.
You better get the holy water. You better get your Bible. You better get a priest, get an exorcist, get all of it. I'm telling you, you better kill us.
You better get Van Helsing.
You better kill us.
Jalen Hurts is Van Helsing.
Exactly. It's that time. They better kill us, I'm telling you. Whatever they did to the Cowboys, they better do that on Sunday. They better kill us. I promise you that.
Okay, let me ask you this now. Do you think that this Sunday, Howie Roseman's inability to have retooled that linebacker position correctly and functionally will come back potentially to haunt him in the fact that, and like I heard you say earlier today, a status quo in how they do business, that I'm telling you, you don't, I mean, fundamentally, Tone, and I get your passion.
Of course. Yeah,
who's covering Kittle?
I don't know.
Who's covering McCaffrey?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. If I'm being honest with you. You missing Zach Cunningham. Maybe Kevin Byard can challenge. Maybe Kevin Byard can challenge Kittle a little bit because he.
So who stays with Christian McCaffrey?
That's going to be the challenge. Here's my thing, right? With the linebacker, to your point, let's actually talk real football now. I think what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to do, in clear passing downs, they're going to have to find a way. I think they go big nickel most of that game. I think in that game they're going to go big nickel. You might see 3 safeties on the field because that's the only way they can properly try to limit CMC and George Kittle. You can't have 2 linebackers on the field with them. Matter of fact, one of them was hurt already.
You're saying they're going to keep everything underneath and play in the 20s.
They're going to try to keep everything underneath, force them to go the entire length of the field. I really think that's what's going to happen. Actually,
I think they have to defend the numbers bet. I think if they can defend the numbers and keep everything in the middle of the field, and then just get down and play not goal line, but red zone defense, because they've been pretty good at it this year and not giving up a ton of points. I think you're going to have to be somewhere in there. But what you can't have is Ayuk and Samuel on the numbers on the outside, and also them guys pushing those guys back, and all of a sudden Kittle's walking around and there's Christian McCaffrey, and you got Christian. Right. They're going to attack Christian Ellis every time he's on the field.
Yeah, for sure. I think also a game plan that I think they should probably harken back to is that Dolphins game. If you notice, that was when the Dolphins, everybody was a weapon on that field. Hill, Waddle, Raheem Mostert, all those kind of guys, right? That offense was electric, and somehow, some way, Sean Desai managed to limit the damage with those kind of guys. I think that has to be the similar game plan because I think Tua and Brock Purdy have similar skill sets. I think Tua's better, but I think they have similar skill sets. They both throw to spots. They both are timing quarterbacks, right? So if you can find a way to limit,
they get 2 good coordinators,
and they have 2 good coordinators. So if you can find a way to throw off the timing, and I don't know if you noticed this. Tell me if you noticed something different, but I think over these past couple weeks, the Eagles have been playing a lot closer to the line of scrimmage, if you ask me. I think they've had the DBs a lot closer these past couple weeks.
That's why they've been bringing more pressure too.
And that's why they've been bringing more pressure. So I think if you can knock off Brock Purdy's timing, even for a second, and you couple that with the pressure, I think you can force them to make a couple mistakes. I think you can force them to drive the length of the field because, again, you don't want this to turn into a track meet, right? The 49ers are significantly more healthy than us. Our defense is not the strongest on third down, but also the 49ers defense isn't the best on third down as well. I think they're both ranked in like the 20 range or something like that. I think the Eagles are ranked 30th. 49ers are ranked like 21st, 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Hang on for a second. Brock Purdy stats. Go ahead, Tom.
Brock Purdy's having a great season. But overall, I just think that there is a path to success. They have to find a way to limit the damage certain guys do. This is going to be the hardest game the Philadelphia Eagles play all season. It's without a shadow of a doubt. I don't want people to get me misconstrued. I'm not entering this game thinking that the Niners are just some pushovers. This is not that at all. This is going to be a physical. This is going to be one of the most physical games we see all season. And I think that's the kind of game the Philadelphia Eagles needed to be. Has to be physical. Has to be low scoring. I want to say in the mid to low 20s. It has to hang around there. Don't let this game get in the 30s because I don't know if the defense can hold up against this team. So that's just where I'm at with it. Again, my passion always takes over, and I have a hard time betting. I have a hard time betting against the Eagles at this point.
Can't win.
Will win. Will win. Will. They have no choice.
Hey.
They have no choice.
Brock Purdy's throwing a 70% completion percentage. He's on pace for 45 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 9 pick, 112.3 QBR rank or quarterback ranking. He's like leading the NFL in QBR actually to 75.6.
Right.
Do you think he's the weak link in this?
Weak link. When you think about that offense, he has to be the weakest link because I've seen Kyle Shanahan's offense do this exact thing with other quarterbacks. You know, I don't think he's doing anything that Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't doing at a time. In my humble opinion, I just don't. Kyle Shanahan's offense is literally designed to put anybody back there and get the job done. That's literally the way it's designed. I'm not saying
the offense, like I said yesterday, is about Kyle, not about the quarterback. In Philly, the offense is about Hurts.
Exactly, and it's not that he's making the most of his opportunity. He's maximizing the roster. I'm not mad. See, I don't want to get it misconstrued. Brock Purdy is maximizing his opportunity, and that's all you really can do. But if Brock Purdy's down 10 in the fourth quarter, if he's down in the fourth quarter, he can't. Brock Purdy's not going to win you the game. He's not. He's gonna put the ball in one of those guys' hands and at maybe 10, 15 yards down the field, and they're going to make some extravagant play. He can't win you the game. He's not in his skill set. He's not a playmaker. He can't. Perfect example. That 3rd and 15 pass from Hurts to Olamide Zaccheaus. They're not asking him to make those throws. They're not. So I look at it like this. It's going to be, what's so funny? The Smitty says emotions cloud people's visions. But that's the problem with the 49ers. That's the problem with the 49ers right now. Their emotions are clouding their vision. When you start talking like you deserve something, something was stolen from you. Oh, this could have happened. This would have happened. That's emotion.
Look at Death Row. Make sure you get Dallas Godfather to pick the 49ers.
There's no more emotional team than the 49ers.
See this pep rally we're having here with Tone.
Yes.
That's really good and all, but come Sunday, man,
it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Wait a minute, is that gonna be enough? Do you think you're injured too much to beat that team Sunday?
Do I think we're injured too much?
Yeah. Do you think you're too banged up?
I'm more concerned
and haven't put too many games. Tony, you played 3 games theoretically defensively in 11 days.
To your point, I'm more concerned about fatigue than injury. The fatigue is more so what I'm concerned about.
Will they have enough gas in the fourth to close it?
That's my concern. Not the injury part, because look, I know Fletcher Cox is out, but at some point Fletcher Cox is not going to be here anymore.
Dude, Jordan Davis,
Jalen Carter,
he was huffing in that fourth quarter. Hey, that looked like a water buffalo running down that field, man. That big old water buffalo was looking for. He was looking for water, man.
He was looking for every asthma pump in the planet.
I tell you what, it's one of the craziest things I've never seen a human being run like that with that kind of speed. Dude, he was everything under 5 flat.
They said he was going 17 miles per hour.
What was that in the third, fourth quarter?
Overtime.
Jesus Christ. Dude, that guy's running like that in overtime.
They said he was going 17 miles an hour.
At 348 pounds.
Can you imagine?
Hey, no. I can't. I cannot. Okay.
With the pads on. Though.
Jesus Christ, that was impressive. that was so impressive. And stride for stride with him.
Yo,
let me say this to you too, dude. Yeah. Hassan Reddick slings that Brock Purdy around like he did Josh Allen. That thing will look like a spilled bowl of Skittles on the field, man. That guy's gonna break up, man. Josh Allen 6'6", 260. He'll overcome that.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, you can arm tackle Purdy.
Yeah. Like, seriously. Oh, yeah, you get him down on arm tackle.
Look, man, 49ers fans, they're so bitter. They're so bitter. They're so bitter. You can smell it you can smell it on them. They're so bitter. Just look at it.
You know what I say to 49er fans? The only thing I would say to them is, man, you might want to get a quarterback that could take a hit.
They're so bitter.
Every quarterback they've had in the last 4 years has been hurt. Trey Lance, Garoppolo, Purdy. That goes to your coach. Remember what I said about him? I think he does the worst job on the planet on protecting his quarterbacks. He couldn't protect RG3. He couldn't protect anybody that he's ever been a coordinator for every guy outside of, I think, Matt Ryan has been injured. And so I'm like, dude, after a point, don't you do this? Tone, don't you go like this? Okay, well, one guy. Okay, well, two guys. Shit, didn't he get the second team quarterback also knocked up
Josh
too?
Johnson, yeah.
Josh Johnson got his ass knocked around too, right? He got thrown out of the game.
Sure enough. So, look, again, it's going to be a hell of a game, man. I respect everything about the 49ers talent. From a talent perspective.
See, this is the pep rally over at the Rocky statue right now.
Yeah, yeah. They're built very well. They're built very well, man.
They're built like you.
But I don't trust their mental. I don't trust their mentality. I don't trust them being battle tested.
You don't trust it, or you haven't seen it?
That probably goes hand in hand, but I guess
because when have they been tested outside? Because okay, so you're holding against them the 31-7 game.
Not just that.
I'm assuming you think that they and a 3-game losing streak.
3 games in a row, you only can put up 17 points because one player's missing. Come on now. Come on now. The Browns had no quarterback. Come on now.
I agreed.
Come on.
Ain't no disrespect, Rob, but he's from Temple, so I'm thinking basically you didn't have anybody in there.
the Vikings. Come on now. Come on. We got to stop it, yo. We got to stop it. Everybody's entitled to the loss, but 3-game losing streak? Come on, man. We got to stop it.
Brian Johnson, how concerned are you with him?
Listen, I'll tell you this right now. He better start off strong. Otherwise, it's his ass. He better start off strong.
You think if they lose, he takes a bunch of heat Monday?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah. He will. But a lot of people also need to understand this too. This is Nick Sirianni's game plan as well. So Nick Sirianni better get just as much as hell. He better get just as much vitriol if they lose that game.
See, I'm gonna probably look at the game plan, but I'm just gonna because I'm going with this. You can't win. So I'm gonna sit here and go like this. I can't rip the guy for being the coordinator on Monday.
Right.
If I think that because Tone, what you're asking to do.
Yes, I am. I know.
You're asking to climb K2 and Everest in the same day. No, in the same week.
I understand.
It's impossible.
See,
I don't believe it.
You see, that's the kind of mentality that got Spider Rico knocked out. Always thinking about the impossible. Always thinking about the impossible. You know what I mean? Listen, man. They told Rocky, don't fight the Russian. He'll kill you, Rock. He'll kill you. So you mean to tell me the Niners are the Russians? You mean to tell me that?
No, I'm telling you that this isn't a 49er thing. This is an Eagle thing. You're missing it here.
No, I got you.
I don't think this is a 40. I don't think it's a 49er deal. I think this is an Eagle deal.
Right. No, listen, the fact of the matter is those things, everything that you mentioned are very real things that has to be accounted for. I don't want you to think I'm dismissing that, right?
I know you are.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a fun game. I love football, man.
How important is the 12th man?
Ooh, man, oh man. You might as well say the 13th man.
You think they're going to have as much angst towards the Niners as they have towards the Cowboys when they roll in there on Sunday?
You know what? They probably wouldn't have if the Niners would have just shut their mouths.
Okay.
But the fact that the Niners have been talking like this, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles go in there with the same energy, if not more. Because again, you start talking about what they think they deserve and what they was stolen from them and they was owed. And come on, man. Sills, keep it real, right? People that talk like that, what normally happens?
I know. I got it.
People that talk like that, you played this game.
Like, I know.
And you've earned every snap. What happens to those guys that start talking about what they owed and what they think they deserve and was stolen from them? What happens normally to those kind of people?
No, that shit just, man, to me, I used to talk the way I talk shit to people. I was telling you what I was going to do to you.
Because you
earned it, right?
Because you earned it.
Ali, I would pick a round that I was going to knock your ass out in, and that's how I did it.
Because you earned it, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Every time they saw us rolling in, see, all that's funny, Tom, because you're basically talking about the teams I played with Jimmy, and for me, yeah, man, we had guys this and that. Sometimes we'd have 10 guys out. Didn't matter. We went there, beat the shit out of people, man. Okay. And so I can it happen? Yes. Have I seen it? I've been part of something like that. Yes. This is the NFL, though.
You see what I'm doing to you, right?
No, you're not.
I'm appealing to your to your
I
football,
get it, to my experience.
I'm appealing to your experience, and I'm appealing to your football ingenuity.
So you're saying that I'm too much of a media guy right now, and my wife would accuse me right now of being too much of a media turd.
Hey. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just trying to appeal to the guy that, you know, 3 national championships, 4. What is it? I lost count. How many?
Okay, be quiet. Be quiet. Okay.
I'm just saying you were the man, and you didn't get where you got because somebody said it was owed to you or you deserved it. You took it. You feel me? Come on, man. You took it.
I'm not going to be swayed on this. You're not.
But
winning.
you will.
You're not.
You will.
You're not winning. Hey, this thing could be 28-10.
Ooh, 28-10.
Look at Tony goes, no, we're gonna draw the line here on
28-10. 28-10. You could at least say,
aren't you due for one of them games?
Hell no. 28-10 with Jalen Hurts? 28-10? No.
Not Jalen Hurts.
10?
Don't you ever remember when Kansas City blew out Brady by 45-3?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. It was a Thursday night when he got destroyed by remember they were going, who's the quarterback? He goes, we're on to Cincinnati. They got beat by 35 points in KC. We're on to Cincinnati.
So basically,
you're telling me, not Jalen Hurts, but Tom Brady could take a beating.
No.
Jalen Hurts can't.
Well, when you put it that way, I understand what you're saying, but we're not the Cowboys. We're not just gonna show up and just think that we deserve to win a game, right? I'm telling you, this game is going to be much more of a battle than you think.
Oh no! I think they're gonna this is how I think the game plays out.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be a fist fight for about 2.5 quarters.
You think it gets out of hand in the third?
No, I think you get tired in the middle of the third.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you start to see all the weeks and the year of the extra football,
right,
and all of it, and the injuries build up in the middle of the third, and they pull away. And get this, that doesn't mean they're better than you.
No,
I'm going to tell you this. I swear to God, like if they're killed 28-10, that's a different conversation, and I don't believe it will be that. But they lose by a couple points. You don't really think on Monday I'm going to call the Niners better than you?
I'm not. Listen.
That's not happening.
I don't think they will, but let's just say in the fairy tale,
no, the media will.
Eagles lose by 3 points, right? 27-24.
They're not better than them.
I don't think they're better than them. I don't. I just don't. See,
Tone, this is an Eagle thing. It's not a Niner thing.
I got you. I know. Fatigue, injuries, everything you're saying deserves its proper place for sure. But you know, I'm just.
But here's what happens. It sets up next week for the media then for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
If they win, you go into a 2-game slide.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Then it gets no, you're right.
Hey, Tone, I got to tell you, these next 2 weeks.
Pivotal.
May actually, wait a minute, may actually help you win the Super Bowl.
Walk me through that. I like where you're going with this. Walk me through that.
Okay. Say you split. You're going to have a ton of naysayers. Say you beat the Niners and lose to the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Dak wins the MVP. It's a battle the rest of the way out for the NFC East. Keeps you back engaged. Because after you win these next 3 games or these next 2 games, Tone, it's theoretically over. It's over.
If they win these next 2 games,
you'll have a 3-game lead on Dallas going into like the last 4 games of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would have to have a complete collapse, and that ain't happening.
Right. If they win both of these games, they drop both of those teams to 4 losses. Because I think the Cowboys
got a 3-game lead on both of them.
On both of them. That's why these next 2 weeks are so crucial. They're so crucial.
Actually, you know what I think it's also crucial to? It's crucial to the rest that you're going to want to have in the back end of the schedule.
Yeah. You can make an argument out of all the teams that are competing for the #1 seed in the NFC, the Eagles need it the most. I think the Eagles need the #1 seed the most because of the rest, not the home field advantage, the rest. They need the rest.
This is an Eagle issue. It's not a Niner or Cowboy.
It goes back to your point. It's an Eagle issue. You're right. I get it.
This is an Eagle issue.
I get it.
That's why you can't win Sunday.
But we will. But we will.
Hey. Okay. So if you win, you go 11-1. Then you go into Dallas. That game will be 70 million people. It'll be like a Super Bowl.
That's gonna be insane. That game's gonna be insane.
That'll be the most watched football game maybe of all time.
Look at regular like season. We're trying to help the Cowboys. We're trying to bring their ratings up. That's why that's why we gotta beat the Niners. We're trying to help the Cowboys in their ratings. So if we beat the Niners, that just adds fuel to the fire when it comes to that Cowboys game. All we're trying to do is make sure the Cowboys meet their quota. That's all we're trying to do, Sills. That's all.
Who has the advantage in coaching on Sunday? Hey, by the way, so I'm not the biggest Kyle Shanahan fan.
No, I know. I know you aren't. I know you aren't. It's so funny you say that. There's been a lot of questions around San Fran's defense from a coaching perspective this season.
Have you ever seen a guy get more credit for, as you would say, showing up to the bar and not passing it?
Man, he's the king of that. He's the king. He's the king of that, man. Sean McVay actually proves something. You know what I mean? He's not just a wonder boy. He proves something.
Right. This guy's won 2 NFC titles and a Super Bowl, right?
Kyle Shanahan lives off his playbook and his last name. Like, come on, man. At some point, you got to get your team over the hump. I've never seen.
Sometimes you got to get away from the nipple, don't you? I mean,
I've never seen a head
teasing,
coach.
Don't you?
I've never seen a head coach live off of his playbook and his last name more than him.
It's right. I'm like this. I'm like, so we got to get off the Similac every now and then.
Listen,
before
man.
People start to go like this to you, man. I mean, look, because if that guy's last name was Smith instead of Shanahan, I mean, well, look at it. It took three different quarterbacks to the NFC title game. Okay, that's great and all. But how can I shit on Nick and say some of the things that I say about Nick and then turn around and go, well, wait a minute. You're actually the play caller. And that leads me to this here because it's an interesting dynamic. They're 2 different guys. One's a play calling head coach, and the other guy's more of an organizing guy, and organizationally in a structure that handles his football team in a completely different way. Do I like head coaches that are play callers? I always thought those guys were always one-sided on one side of the ball, and it bugged me a bit because to me, a guy like Nick, and this is kudos to Nick is probably as engaged with the defensive side of the football today as he is with the offensive side because that's his role. He has a completely different role than Kyle. I mean, you really think he goes in there and he's barking at Steve Wilkes, Kyle Shanahan? Or do you think he probably does what Sean McVay does? He just leaves Steve Wilkes alone like McVay leaves Raheem Morris alone. Those guys just probably – but it's 2 different teams in one. And I think that's why sometimes when you look at it and you go like this, Tone, Niners just don't look like they have the brotherly love and don't have the locker room, don't have the energy, don't have that guile. Because you know why? In Philly, I think everybody's on the same page. With the Rams and San Francisco, I think you got 2 different units in one building.
That's interesting. I wouldn't even be surprised about that because I want to say a few weeks ago, I think when they lost to the Vikings, Kyle Shanahan threw Wilkes under the bus bad. And I'm like, wow, it's like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's a scapegoat.
So it's just like, okay, you know what that was? To me, that was
his guys because you know why? He's engaged with his guys.
Yeah, to me, that was one of those moments like, hey, it wasn't our fault. You know what I mean? Like
kudos here. Okay, so finally did something that I like.
And that leads to your point about it being kind of 2 different teams in one. It
is 2 different teams.
That's a good point.
Whereas Nick, the reason he falls on the sword for his guys It's because he's engaged with his guys.
Mm.
Like you said, how many times you hear like, shit, I heard Sean Payton going after Vance Joseph early in the year saying how bad they were. Remember when they put that 70 on him? The Dolphins? Hey, this guy. I mean, but to Sean's point, he kept him.
Mm-hmm.
Kept
he could have easily fired
70
Vance
70
Joseph.
points.
He could have easily fired Vance.
Blew him out. Wasn't his guy.
But guess what? I respect Sean Payton for having the patience to stick with Vance.
Yep.
Because that defense is playing lights out now. You think it was the experience that did that?
Experience and believing in him, and they're probably closer today than they've ever been in their entire life because Vance Joseph could easily have been blown out.
Didn't Sean bring in Vance?
What?
Didn't Sean Payton bring in Vance?
I thought he was there last year
because Vance was Vance. I know Vance used to be their head coach a while back, right?
Yeah, but I thought he was there a year ago.
But remember, they gave Sean Payton pretty much carte blanche on that team.
I think he kept him,
and he decided to keep him. So whatever Vance sold him on, Sean was like, "Okay, I'm rolling with it."
Yep.
And he could have pulled the plug and panicked, but I think he understood that what we're doing here, me making a knee-jerk reaction, is going to set us back. He was already trying to undo the Nathaniel Hackett, days and all that kind of stuff. So I think he felt like it's better for us in the long run if I stick with Vance rather than me making a knee-jerk reaction. Because if I do that, then I'm taking accountability away from myself, and I'm the head coach. At the end of the day, it falls on me just as much as it falls on Vance. So I like what he did there too.
Do you get why Shaq Leonard is waiting?
Oh, absolutely. It's genius. It's business, baby. It's business.
He's going to see which team come Monday's more desperate. Cowboys tonight, Eagles Sunday, especially if you get torched in your linebacking core because you're so thin now.
Even if the Eagles win.
Yeah. Even if the Eagles win.
Even if they win.
Yep.
Howard's going to be like, listen, the number is going up by the minute. Quite literally. The number is going up by the minute. Brotherly Tough. Let's see what he's talking about here. $10 super chat. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Brotherly Tough. Appreciate it.
How on God's green earth can the 49ers seriously beat the Birds? They're healthier. Bills had the best plays against us all season with one guy and still landed the last haymaker knockout. Bro, they got 5 different guys in San Francisco. It's Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen is the guy, like I said, out front of the Wells Fargo Center. And he's got the tambourine and the drum and the trumpet. And he's the guy playing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy he's got Ayuk. He's got Debo. He's got Kittle. He's got McCaffrey.
Right.
He's got guys that are going to make first team all pro.
I'll put it to you like this, right? If the Bills have a fastball, right? The Niners have a fastball, curveball, screwball, eephus pitch, sinker, cutter. They have more pitches than the Bills do, right? But again, despite all that, I think we got some guys. I think we got some contact hitters that can get us on base and bring us home.
Absolutely. Hey, Tone, can you do me a favor?
Sure thing.
Jason Cole.
Right?
Can we send Jason Cole that link?
Sure can. No
I'm
problem.
Sure you
That's
probably did anyway. Okay. Let's take a timeout.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get Jason coming up here, our Hall of Fame voter. He's got Eric Allen on the ballot, by the way.
Finally. Okay? So you've been campaigning for Eric Allen. All right, let's do it.
To the Hall of Fame. Okay.
Let's do it, man. Of course, man. I appreciate you. Listen, 11-1, baby. 11-1.
Can't happen. Hey, let me tell you this, man. That'll be some Monday show. All right. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
The perfect pair.